New way to grow hair. So far, it's only being tested in mice, but the results are promising. The idea, removing healthy cells from the scalp. They would be grown in a lab to boost their numbers before being injected back into the patient's head. The findings are published by the National Academy of Sciences. Angela Cristiano is the study's senior author. She's a professor of dermatology and genetics at Columbia University Medical Center. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, do you think this is a breakthrough?
It's actually a significant new finding, right? It's the first time really that we've been able to use a patient's own cells to induce new hair follicles. And so up to now, the conventional way of doing hair transplant is to relocate hairs from the back of the head to the front of the head, but there's actually no gain in the number of follicles. It's just a relocation. With this method, we actually have the opportunity to try and multiply the number of cells and make new hairs.
Right, and for people who don't know, because I've just learned about this too, people actually grow more hair in the back and then they transplant that onto the front of the head. This allows you to grow the follicles in a petri dish and then replant them. But how is that hair though? What's the quality?
So for now, they're sort of rudimentary hairs. They're clusters of cells that when you put them in contact with another part of the skin can actually induce a whole new hair. We hope over time that these, once they're implanted, will grow into robust, thick hairs in human skin.
Does the possibility of getting approval for this will take how many years?
Well, it's an interesting regulatory path, Charlie, because it's not quite a drug, and so they're called autologous uses for these cells, so meaning you're getting them to do the same thing they already do, and we're not doing anything to them, so they're minimally manipulated. So we hope it's a smooth path.
Here's what's interesting to me, and we were talking about this when you first sat down before we were back on the air. If someone finds a way to grow hair naturally, they will become the richest person in the world if they can patent it. If they can patent it.
Richer than the Silicon Valley giants.
Richer than Carlos Slim, richer than everybody. But so the question is, I would assume that with that kind of payoff, tons of money are being directed to the effort.
Oh, that would be wonderful if that were true.
But it's not true.
No, not yet.
But is that because people think it's impossible?
Well, it's a difficult time for research funding all the way around right now.
But I mean, the payoff here is so obvious.
So,
it's like, it's like a satin or something.
It's a good time though for stem cell research, and so regenerative
so stem
medicine,
cell might be the possibility.
So regenerative medicine is one of the hottest things in science these days, using the body's own capabilities to grow.
So what do you think is
cells.
possible in the next 5 years?
We'd love to see this in clinical trials in the next few years.
So what's preventing clinical trials?
Nothing yet. This is new. It's a new way of doing things. So I think it's important that we, roll it out slowly and cautiously. But we're optimistic that we can actually, be in patients in the next 3 to 5 years. I don't think that's unrealistic.
3 to 5 years. Wow. Angela Cristiano, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Right.
Thanks.